Thank you. Please retire the colors.
Detail, aid, peace. Detail, forward, pull. Left, left.
Thank you, and please be seated. Thank you so very much for joining us for the second annual American Red Cross Jersey City Fire Police 9/11 Memorial Blood Drive, so generously sponsored by Suburban Propane. We are honored with the American Red Cross to be joining with our neighbors, our generous volunteer blood donors, elected leaders, 9/11 family members, and others to sponsor blood drives across the United States. It's one way that we can continue to commemorate all those lost after 9/11, help others in need, and continue the healing process. We are joining with tens of millions of people who are joining together for 9/11 to have a day of service. I am now pleased to introduce Jersey City Council President Rolando Lavaro.
Thank you, Donna. Good morning, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here with our police and fire leadership, with Chief Zachary, Chief Rivers, Deputy Chief Connors. And also I just want to take a moment to acknowledge our would-be councilman from Jersey City, John Halloran. Thank you, John. So as said, my name is Rolando Lavaro. I'm the City Council President for Jersey City, here on behalf of Mayor Stephen Fuller. And on behalf of the City of Jersey City and the Department of Public Safety, we are again honored to partner with the Red Cross to support today's 9/11 Memorial Blood Drive. Our Department of Public Safety is comprised of the Police Department, the Fire Department, and the Office of Emergency Management. I should also acknowledge our Director of OEM, Greg Kearse, who's here. And this week, our nation and our community here endured an unimaginable tragedy 15 years ago. And here in Jersey City was the staging point for many of the efforts to relief efforts and rescue efforts that were going on in 9/11 15 years ago. But throughout this tragedy, our nation and our city have emerged stronger and more resilient with partnership with the Red Cross. Our police and fire and EMS, our first responders, our law enforcement officers see on a daily basis severely injured. And on 9/11, 15 years ago, they saw unimaginable horrors and tragedies going on that day. And so it's fitting that on this day today that we are conducting this Memorial Blood Drive in partnership with the Red Cross because they were saving lives back 15 years ago, and by giving of themselves today, and the city gives itself today, we're hopefully saving lives as well. So the Jersey City Police Department continues in this tradition as a member of the National Association of the Police Organizations. We just partnered with the Red Cross to encourage all of its membership and our police officers and firefighters, more than 241,000 in the National Law Association across the nation, in supporting these sort of blood drive efforts. So I want to thank Vice President Mike Chaplow and all of your leadership team for partnering with us, and we look forward to continuing the partnership going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, City Council President. It is now my honor to introduce Mike Chaplow, Vice President of the American Red Cross Biomedical Services. Mike.
Thank you, Donna. So first, we're so gracious to have the support of all of the fire, police, EMS, and all of our volunteers that come out to assist us at every drive like this. It means so much. First, I just wanted to recognize a number of our esteemed guests that are here today. Philip Zaki, Chief of the Jersey City Police Department, Darren Rivers, Chief of the Jersey City Fire Department, Sergeant W. Greg Kearse, Director of Emergency Management and Homeland Security for Jersey City, Richard Gorman, the Battalion Chief for the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, John Alston, Deputy Chief of Fire Chief of Special Operations for the Jersey City Fire Department, Rolando Lavarro, Jersey City Council President, along with many other Jersey City Council members, police, fire, and emergency management personnel. Michael Stavala, President and CEO of Suburban Propane, along with all of the Suburban Propane partners and volunteers. I can tell you that just speaking personally, you know, the people that support our blood drives come with really the energy and the motivation to really do something meaningful. And it means so much. It means so much. All of the support that we receive enables us to collect the units that are necessary to support all the hospital systems that we do throughout the year. Others, J.P. Morgan Chase, Catholic War Veterans Post 1612 in Bayonne, Matt Kelly and the Hyatt Regency Hotel for supporting our second annual Jersey City Police and Fire 9/11 Memorial Blood Drive. Additionally, we want to recognize Larry Thunderfoot Curtin, a retired firefighter. His touching and most poignant video will be featured at this event. Through the vital support that we get, we really create memories. And if you take a look at the people who give back, whether it's through volunteerism or whether it's through donating blood, they really feel better about themselves, you know, because they're helping humanity. And blood is something that really can't be manufactured. It's something that we can only get from the generous donations of volunteers who roll up their sleeves and donate the most precious gift of all, the gift of life. And I just wish that I could convey the feelings and the sentiment and the look in the eyes and the gratitude of every single donor recipient back to the actual donor. It's unbelievable, you know, because they've just received life from someone. And I wish that every single donor could get that back. We at the Red Cross collect probably around 5 million units of blood a year. You know, we're the main supplier of blood to all of the hospital systems throughout the U.S. And in times of emergency, we ship hundreds of units from one locale to the other to support an emergency situation. It's not something that we can, you know, do tomorrow and say we'll need blood. It's got to be on hand at every single minute. When an emergency occurs, blood has to be on the shelves to be able to ship to an emergency situation, which is why it's so important that at blood drives like this, where we expect to collect upwards of 200 units, it's so important. You know, it'll give us the ability to save up to 600 lives from that 200 units that we collect. And so I thank everyone for that. We all have personal stories. We have a personal story for the lives of people in Long Valley that were lost. And I just wanted to share one true story with you today. Lieutenant Joseph Levy, 22-year veteran of the New York City Fire Department, Ladder 15, and married father of 2. September 11th, he was scheduled to be off that day, but another co-worker asked if he would substitute for him. So he did. He switched his schedule so that other firefighter could attend his daughter's dance recital. And I'm sure that there are hundreds of stories like this. You know, was it fate that brought him into the towers that day? But I can tell you that people like him charged into the building to save the lives of others and perished. And so we're here to memorialize and remember all of the brave police, firefighters, and EMS that serve our communities every single day. So with that, I am pleased to introduce, let's see, give me 1 second. Donna Morrissey.
We'll make it easy. Thank you, Mike, so much. As you know, the American Red Cross relies on the generosity and the support of all of you in this room, and really are part of our family. And one of the groups that really support us are our corporate sponsors. And when we look at our sponsors across the country, and I think of those who give so generously, Suburban Propane comes to mind. They have employees that are donating thousands of hours to help support blood drives. We have employees here with Suburban Propane shirts on who are going to be volunteering at the blood drive upstairs. They do fire canvassing events. They have donated propane after wildfires in Alaska. They are just an amazing sponsor, and we couldn't do it without them. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Mike Stavala, President and Chief Executive Officer of Suburban Propane.
Thanks, Donna. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. It really is my honor to support this very moving event today in memory of those who tragically lost their lives on September 11th, 15 years ago, and those who bravely rose up in service and responded to the call for help. We hold dear the memory of those who lost their lives, and we will never forget. Suburban Propane is a proud sponsor, national sponsor of the American Red Cross. We are especially proud to once again sponsor this second annual Jersey City Police and Fire 9/11 Memorial Blood Drive. Today's blood drive is a memorial and a testament to the sacrifices of the brave first responders who gave their lives in an attempt to save their fellow citizens. There's also a day of hope for the sick and needy whose lives depend on the generosity of the blood donors who will come through here today. On this somber and hopeful occasion, we at Suburban Propane can thoughtfully reflect on this day, as well as our own mission, which as a national company is not only to serve the customers and employees that we have, but also the people in the communities that we serve around this great country. We support the Red Cross as a conduit to help our employees volunteer their time to support the communities they live and work in. And by donating the life-saving gift of blood, they may be helping patients in their communities, their families, and friends across the nation. As President and CEO of Suburban Propane, I'm very proud of the team and all the hours that they spend volunteering for the American Red Cross, and we have a lot of them here today in our red shirts. During last year's 2015 100 Days of Summer campaign, Suburban Propane helped the American Red Cross gather 1.3 million units of blood. And this today is the culmination of the 2016 event, and we expect to do better than that. At the end of the day, the commitment of my team to the community defines us and supports our desire to be good corporate citizens by setting a high standard for social responsibility. And finally, to the Jersey City Police Department, of which my brother-in-law is a proud server, and firefighters, thank you for your sacrifices and your service and for your help in protecting our communities. It truly is appreciated. To the American Red Cross, thank you for your dedicated and selfless devotion to always being there in a time of need. And to the many blood donors who will come through here today, thank you for giving the gift of life to those in need. I appreciate you inviting me and my team here today, and on behalf of the more than 3,600 employees of Suburban Propane nationwide, thank you.
Mike, thank you so much. I also would like to thank Keith, Peter, and Sandy, 3 blood donors from Suburban Propane that worked tirelessly day in and day out during this entire campaign, so thank you so much. Today, we're here with some 9/11 family members who paid the ultimate sacrifice. They lost their loved ones. And it is my honor to introduce Barbara Gorman, who will generously tell us about her husband, Thomas, who was a member of the Port Authority Emergency Services Unit working out of Jersey City. Barbara?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I could say I'm honored to be invited here for this Red Cross program and to share my story. September 2001, my husband Tom and I, along with our 3 children, lived in Middlesex, New Jersey. Beautiful day, like today. We went off to work. Life was wonderful. I worked as a nurse here at St. Francis Hospital, downtown Jersey City. Unfortunately, it closed in 2001. And Tom was an officer with the Port Authority, as I said, Emergency Services Unit in Journal Square, PATH. When the attacks occurred on the morning of September 11th, Tom and his fellow officers rushed over to the World Trade Center to help the thousands of people in the towers. It is believed Tom lost his life in the South Tower. Since that day, the Red Cross has been a constant staple, I'd say, for myself and my family throughout the various 9/11 events. I'd like to thank them, the Red Cross. They've been with us there, giving us water, teddy bears for my kids, coffee, tissues. They were caring volunteers at Liberty State Park, where we went and they helped us facilitate and make our way over to New York for the various organizations. The Red Cross, as I said, continues to be with us. Yesterday at Liberty State Park, during the 9/11 ceremonies, heading over to Manhattan, and it means a great deal to us that they're always there for myself and my family. Throughout his life, Tom was dedicated to saving lives. Prior to being a Port Authority police officer, he was a Bayonne firefighter. He followed in his father's footsteps. His father was a captain of the fire department. Several times a year, more than several, Tom was an avid blood donor. He was very passionate about that. He was a believer that you save a life with donating blood, and it doesn't cost you anything. It was something he did naturally, believing in the importance of it, the act, and what it meant for others. Over the years, Tom donated gallons. I think he was part of a 3 million gallon. Yeah, not 3 million, oh my gosh. 3 gallon club. Wow, that would have been really awesome.
It's worth $1 million.
Yeah. He made his final blood donation on September 10th. And similar to a story that you told, myself being a nurse, I was supposed to be working on September 11th, and he was supposed to be off. But we switched days to an in-service I had to attend. So he made use of his day off, and he went and gave blood. So making his final donation on September 10th, the day before the terrorist attacks. And in fact, after 9/11, when I had to give a sample to the medical examiner, the gauze that he used to donate blood on that Monday, I found in the side pocket of the truck. So that was better than anything that you could have imagined. Tom will be proud. His 3 children are avid donators. His son Patrick, my son, I'm proud to say, followed in his dad's footsteps. He is a Port Authority police officer. His mom initiated an annual blood drive. Tom's birthday was in December, and she initiated a blood drive, and we mail out just little pamphlets of, donate wherever you are with, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Florida, to make that a special month of donation for December in his honor and in his memory. So we still continue to believe in that passion that he had to donate blood. Very proud of him, always will be, proud of all of my children. I can only thank you again and praise the Red Cross. They really have always been a staple throughout all of the 9/11 events, and it's been wonderful. Thank you.
Such an inspiration. We cannot thank you enough, and we are inspired by you, and just thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. As we reflect on September 11th, I'll always remember the moment of heroism amid the chaos. As we commemorate this solemn anniversary, I would like to take a moment to recognize all of the first responders who then and now selflessly put their lives on the line to help all of us. They are the heroes among us. They deserve our unwavering support and gratitude. And on behalf of all of us here today, we salute you for your service then and now. Put a round of applause for our first responders. Jersey City's fire department was the only New Jersey department to receive an official call for assistance during the September 11th attacks, with hundreds of department personnel assisting in Ground Zero cleanup effort. Among the first responders who perished on that day was Fire Department Jersey City dispatcher Joseph Lavero, who was hit by a piece of debris. In the aftermath of the attacks, the Jersey City Police Department provided support, care, and means for injured survivors of the World Trade Center, tragically to be transported to hospitals. Hundreds of volunteer officers worked tirelessly on rescue and recovery efforts in the weeks that followed. Many times in the middle of the night, whether it's at a single-family house fire or at a disaster in our local community, it is the first responders and the Red Cross responding to answer the call for help. I am so delighted to introduce Ana Montero, Chief Executive Officer right here in New Jersey region, to tell us more about these everyday heroes and how they help us prepare for and respond to disasters. Ana?
Thank you. So thankful to be here today. Thank you, Donna. It is those first responders, like those right here in Jersey City, that we are so very proud to work alongside and to respond to help families that are displaced from home fires. We're so honored to work alongside you. Thank you for helping us to prevent home fires and make families safer. And we do this through our partnership in the Home Fire Campaign. You know, inside of these tragic events of 9/11, there are personal stories such as what we've heard now and what we will continue to hear in our time. Collective stories of sacrifice, inspiration, and heroism. Stories of people like Joseph Lavero and Tom Gorman, who lived their lives serving others. These stories, they just give us such a vivid picture of the human spirit. When I think about how we honor the memory of those that sacrifice for others, I think we can do it by honoring forward. We cannot allow ourselves to become indifferent, and instead, we can use the gifts that we've been given to help others. This past Saturday, that's exactly what happened here in Jersey City. The Red Cross and Jersey City CERT members, as well as Jersey City firefighters, went door to door installing free smoke alarms and educating families about home fire safety in the Greenville section of Jersey City. Councilman, your hometown. During September, we also celebrate National Preparedness Month. The Red Cross encourages families to develop a game plan, make sure that their household is ready, so that when the next emergency may come, they're prepared. We encourage everyone to make a plan, get a kit, and be informed. I'm so proud to report that all the presenting donors here today will receive a Red Cross safety pack. Some of them are on the tables in the back and they're upstairs as well, courtesy of Suburban Propane. Thank you so much for your sponsorship to help jumpstart your disaster planning efforts. The Red Cross responds to about 66,000 disasters every year in the United States. They include hurricanes and wildfires and floods, such as those in Louisiana, and they also include home fires. Last year, the Red Cross right here in New Jersey responded to nearly 1,000 disasters, mostly home fires. And we also assisted close to 2,000 individuals that were displaced. We do this by providing shelter, food, health services, emotional support and guidance, and we help families toward recovery. In the past week alone, we responded to 2 home fires right here in Jersey City. We provide compassionate care when people need it the most. And to be clear, that we are our donors and our volunteers who join with us, and our employees. who share this mission of preventing and relieving suffering here in New Jersey and across the country. We do this through our 5 lines of service, such as disaster services, as I've mentioned. Obviously, our blood services line, which is why we're here today. Our preparedness, health, and safety line of service, as well as international services. I just want to take this opportunity in conclusion to thank all of you for your support. Together, the Jersey City Police and Fire, we are all honoring forward and helping to save lives. Thank you.
Before we introduce our next guest, we just would like to take a couple of minutes to recognize Christy Coombs. Christy lost her husband Jeff on September 11th, and in the aftermath of that, Christy has become a dear friend. Years later, in Boston, we went through the unimaginable with the Boston bombings, and I saw firsthand that Christy stood up, came in, put her arms around those who survived the bombings, and offered her personal support and assistance to help them navigate the unsteady times they were facing. This past June, I deployed for the American Red Cross down to Orlando to respond to the nightclub shootings, which was my honor. And I can tell you, we had 10 Boston bombing survivors come down to once again stand up, join with their neighbors, and help them navigate the uncertain times. It is my honor to introduce my friend, a board member, and a 9/11 family member, Christy Coombs. Christy.
Hi, it's an honor for me to be here. The people say that our country is divisive, but clearly we're not that divisive because you've let 2 Red Sox and Patriots fans not only come to the New York area, but cross the river into New Jersey. We thank you for that. Being here is quite an honor for me. It also gave me the opportunity to see the 9/11 Memorial for the first time on 9/11. I've been to the memorial numerous times. I took Donna through the museum after it opened. But being here on 9/11, being able to run my hand across Jeff's name and seeing the blue lights last night at 10 o'clock and seeing the crowds that were there at 10 o'clock on a Sunday night was incredibly heartwarming and led me to believe that maybe people will not forget, and certainly they haven't forgotten yet. As Donna said, I lost my husband Jeff on 9/11. He was a passenger on Flight 11 going to work to a meeting in California. Strangely enough, about a year later, I heard from a coworker of his that had he not been on that plane, he would have been in one of his regular meetings that he had in the World Trade Center Twin Towers, meeting with somebody. Those 3 people that he was going to meet with from Compaq died that morning. Jeff and I were blood donors together. He donated more frequently than I did, but he was a regular donor, and sometimes we would bring the kids, 3 of them, just to tell them that this is what you do. Giving blood is the right thing to do to help other people. About 10 years ago, a friend of mine, Rich Serino, who is some of you may know him, the former Boston EMS chief, and then went on to work with FEMA. He invited me and my family to come to a blood drive at Fenway Park after the commemoration services in Boston. We were standing around, didn't really know what to do with ourselves around noon. He said, it's really a nice event. It's kind of got a festive feel, and I think it would be good for you. Some of the players will be there. Your kids might enjoy meeting them. So we went to that blood drive, and it was a really amazing experience to see all those people coming in from, taking the time off work, coming to Fenway to donate blood in memory of those who couldn't anymore. And my daughter, my youngest one, who was about 11 or 12 at the time, was running around having a great time. She met Larry Lucchino, former owner of the Red Sox, and he put a couple of World Series rings on her. Not as many as you guys have, okay. But he put the rings on her. She was getting her picture taken with Larry and with a couple of players. She comes running over to me and she said, wow, Mom, I never thought 9/11 could ever be fun again. Can we do this every year? I turned to Donna and I told her the story, and both of us stood there and cried. And I made that commitment after Rich Serino recruited me to be a board member. I made the commitment to be there every year, and I have been. And it's been something that really turns things around for me on 9/11 after spending the morning reflecting and remembering in a very sad way, and then being able to go to a place where people are really doing things for others and doing it because they want to remember. Yesterday I was at Fenway and I spoke to a woman and I said, "Are you a regular blood donor?" And she said, "Once a year I give blood, always at this blood drive." And I said, "Well, what brings you here?" And she said, "This is important. It's important to remember, and it's a way that I can feel better about myself and something that I can do that's positive on 9/11. So that's what this is all about. Well, we lost our loved one and so many others on 9/11. We've made the commitment to give back, to pay it forward, because now that 9/11 is National Day of Service and Remembrance, giving back is really the way that we want 9/11 to be remembered. And I'm sure all of you who lost so many that day feel the same way. So it's heartwarming to see the way people came out yesterday in Boston at Fenway Park and at the other community service projects that we had to come out and do something good to pay it forward in memory of those who can no longer. So thank you for allowing me to be here today. Thank you for the Red Cross has been awesome. Thank you for all that you do to continue paying it forward and to continue saving lives.
In conclusion, before we invite you to go outside for a special presentation, I just want to offer a really profound word of thanks to the Hyatt Regency Hotel here. They have been tireless in their support. They have offered personnel, space, you will see delightful food, etc., and they just have been incredible, so a special thank you to them. I also want to mention Guy Triano, who's our Director of Recruitment for this area, along with Emily Ho and Shanley Toomey, and all of our Red Cross colleagues, and most especially our fabulous collections folks upstairs. We have the A-team, and we need the A-team for collecting the blood, so thank you for all that you do, because you're saving lives day in and day out. And now, we would invite you outside. We have Jersey City Fire Department Representative, Deputy Fire Chief of Special Operations, John Alston, who will give us a few words about a fireboat and the significance of it. And after the presentation, we invite you to come in and partake in a luncheon generously provided to us by Suburban Propane. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Donna. On behalf of the Jersey City Fire Department and my direct boss, Chief Darren Rivers, I want to thank you for allowing us to participate. 9/11 is very significant for us. Many of us and some of us in the room responded on that day, and we lost many of our friends there as well. One of the friends that we lost was Joseph Lavero. Joseph Lavero was a kid like me. He wanted to be a firefighter since he was about 4 years old. Lived about 4 blocks from the firehouse. He used to chase fire trucks, probably before he could even add 2 + 2. He wanted to be a firefighter, tested for it, but because of a heart condition, he was not able to. His brothers went on to join the fire service and work with them, and also became public safety officers and firefighters. On that day, he was getting off, he was a dispatcher because he had such a passion for the job. He was a dispatcher, and when the call came out, he went with the battalion chief and the safety unit, which is our air support unit, because little as it's, quiet as it's kept, New York City Fire Department is about 12,000 members. If you try to get 12,000 people into downtown Manhattan at one time, it's almost impossible. We have the ability, with cooperation with the Port Authority, to shut down the tubes and be able to travel into New York with a 4-minute response. So sometimes we can even lead units from Brooklyn into downtown. So we have a very long relationship in working with the New York City Fire Department. So that morning he jumped right on. And he was assisting one of the battalion chiefs there when he was buried with rubble. And his body was recovered and he died at St. Vincent's Hospital. That's the man. So we named the boat after him. And the wonderful partnership that we have with the leadership in council and with Director Greg Kiersch from Homeland Security, we were able to secure funds to purchase this 48-foot boat. It is, I'll give you the technical part of it, it's a Sea Ark Dauntless class fireboat. And it has Seaburn written on it because it has chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear capabilities for detection. Jersey City is part of a 13-boat regional task force that works along with the U.S. Coast Guard and with the FDNY. Under the leadership of Chief Rivers, it is staffed for 24 hours with a full crew, and you might have recently seen them plucking kayakers out about 2 weeks ago that were removed from their boats accidentally. If you would like, then please, would you come outside, and we'd like to give you the display that we do every year. Thank you.
Thank you.
usually telling us to do something. Yeah. Yeah. Walk that way.
Do you mind taking some pictures from that angle? Will that work or no? This is too bright.